Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, this is Jesse with the Common Nerd, bringing you pop culture and all things nerdy through a common sense lens. And I probably, like many of you up there, grew up with The Legend of Zelda, right? I think one of my first ones that I actually played through all the way through and finished was Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time on the 64. I absolutely loved that game. I put massive amounts of hours into that game when I was a kid, and even as an adult, I've gone back and played the remake. So needless to say, I, like many of you out there, have grown up with the Zelda franchise, and we absolutely love and have a great attachment to it. And many of us probably got very excited, I know I did, when Nintendo announced they were doing a live-action version of The Legend of Zelda. I, for one, think this could be a great idea, and if done properly, could be a lot of fun. There obviously could be some translation issues, just like there is with any video game adaptation out there, but at the end of the day, if done right, it could be very, very well. Well, on top of all of that backstory, you also know, if this is not your first time around here, we love some rumor mill around here. And normally we try to source things from very reliable sources. But this Legend of Zelda movie, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, it needs to be talked about because Daniel RPK has put out an absolutely insane rumor. And if Nintendo ends up doing this and it ends up turning out to be true, I guarantee you it will be a complete and total death nail in the coffin of this movie as soon as it comes out. And it's going to be on a Snow White kind of level, ladies and gentlemen, because as you can see over here from the headline at cosmicbook.news and our dear sweet friend Matt McGloin, trans actor Hunter Schafer rumored for Princess Zelda. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, straight out of the mouthpiece for the studios himself, Daniel RPK has put out a little bit of leak, a little bit of a tease, potentially just another rumor out there for those studios to test the waters as to what you would think might actually end up working. So, of course, we have to call this out and make our voices heard, just like all of the rest of the social media has been exploding with this news since it came out, because this is absolutely insane. And considering some of the actions of Hunter in the past, ladies and gentlemen, I think you'll understand why we might end up with another Snow White level of situation if this rumor turns out to be true. So let's all pray to the Lord in heaven it's not, and let's get into all of the juicy details. But before we do, if you do enjoy our content, hit that like button, share it with all your friends, and subscribe or follow if you have not already, boys and girls, because we are grinding, we are growing. We just crossed 1,900. We are inching our way closer and closer to 2K, and I could not do that without every single one of you. Also, let us know what you think about this in the comment section down below. Do you think it would bug you to have this individual Hunter play Princess Zelda in the Legend of Zelda live-action movie? Or do you think it won't be all of that big of a deal? Do you think, after what we talk about here in a little bit, that Hunter's actions and the kind of activism that they've had issues with on social media before would end up being an absolute death nail for this movie? Let us know what you think about all that in the comment section down below. If you'd like to support the channel, please think about becoming a member and checking out the link in the description down below. You get any of the end credits of all of our videos. You get you get access to a bunch of fun emojis during our live streams and access to our member streams that happen once a month. So please check out that link in the description down below. All right, from Matt McGloin over at cosmicbook.news. We also have an article over here from fandompulse.substack as well, because they've got a little bit of the backstory behind Hunter and Hunter's meltdown online not too long ago over simply nothing more than actual legitimate biology. A big rumor hits the net that trans actor Hunter Schafer is being eyed to play Princess Zelda in Nintendo's upcoming live-action Zelda movie, currently in development. The rumor comes via scooper Daniel RPK, who recently dropped all those leaks for the Marvel WandaVision series coming to Disney+. And that's where my issue lies with this situation. It's from Daniel RPK. The guy's got about a 50-50 track record, and that's why I honestly think, because this guy has been an industry insider and so many report on him for so long, have been reported on him and what he says for so long, it's because he is an industry insider, and I do think that they will leak things with him just to test the waters and get reactions. We know they have done that in the past. We've had Warner Brothers' former employees that have admitted to doing things and leaking to things like that. So we'll have to see if we keep an eye on this one to see if it's actually true. Hunter Schafer is known for HBO's Euphoria, Hunger Games, and will be starring in Amazon's Blade Runner 2099 series. The actor also recently revealed that his newly issued U.S. passport lists him as male despite identifying and selecting female on the application, attributing to the discrepancy to recent federal policy changes under the Trump administrations that restrict gender markers on official documents to the sex assigned at birth. So yes, boys and girls, it's absolutely legitimate. It is not crazy in any way, shape, or form that we know beyond a shadow of a doubt that Hunter is indeed a man, ladies and gentlemen. And the thing about that is this man had an absolute meltdown and lost their mind over this happening, because as you can see over here, you got another little version of this from Screen Time, but of course, this is where things get interesting. The actor made headlines in February after he melted down after the United States government identified him as a male on his passport. He said, "I don't give an F that they put an M on my passport." Wait, let's do this right. "I don't give an F that they put an M on my passport. It doesn't really change anything about me or my transness. However, it does make life a little harder." From there, Schaefer declared, "This is getting very long, but I just want to say, trans people are beautiful. We're never going to stop existing. I'm never going to stop being trans. A letter and a passport can't change that. And F this administration." Oh, poor little boy couldn't handle getting identified as what he actually is and not the mental delusion that he asked the rest of the world to accept. Well, guess what? We clearly live in a time and an era where that is not the case anymore, and it's now officially certified by government documentation. So cry all you want, but you're going to have to put up with this for the rest of your life, buddy. I don't really have... Wait, hold on. Let me do this right again. Don't let me do this right again. I don't really have an answer about what to do about this, but I feel it was important to share. This is real. Oh, the poor thing couldn't handle the whole situation. So how do you think that's going to pan out for Nintendo when they're at press conferences? We're on the red carpet. Whereas always the inevitable, I can't remember if it's Hollywood Reporter or Variety reporter out there goes, "Is this going to be the gayest version of Legend of Zelda ever?" Yeah, because you know that's exactly what's going to happen. And considering Hunter already had this much of a meltdown over just an actual formal government official document that, would be used when you go to the hospital in case you get into an accident where your biology is going to matter just a little bit, especially if they have to cut you open. But that being beside the point, if they had a meltdown over this, imagine what kind of fun snippets and clippets we're going to get from the red carpet after he inevitably asked the same question he always asks where there's an LGBTQ alphabet soup mafia member of that community being in something. It's the same stuff we see happen every single time. Now remember, this is still just a big if this is true, and I don't trust Daniel RPK as far as I can throw him. But I do believe the studios use him to test the waters. So listen here, studios. Listen to all the social media buzz. Watch all the videos on YouTube you can find. And take note how many are in favor and how many are against. And then compare the in favor people to the people you give early access to. Now, who's the audience that actually shows up to buy your tickets again? Oh, that's right. It's not the access media. So maybe, just maybe, you should listen to actual fans. I don't know. Strange concept. It worked for One Piece. It worked for Five Nights at Freddy's. Weird. Just weird. The live-action Legend of Zelda movie is officially in development, with Nintendo teaming up with Sony Pictures to bring this iconic video game franchise to the big screen. Avi Arad, known for producing Sony's Spider-Man and Uncharted films, which I did like the Spider-Man movies, is on board as producer, sparking fan speculation about potential casting choices, including longtime fan favorite Tom Holland. I get it, but please no, we've already got him in a bunch of Spider-Man movies. Like, can we find somebody else? Like, I'd prefer kind of an unknown for such an iconic character, because like everybody's just going to see him as Tom Holland. You know what I mean? They're not going to see him as Link. So I don't know. Strange choices. However, given Link is portrayed as a teenager in most of the games, the studio are reportedly seeking younger actors, with Walker Scobell of The Adam Project and Percy Jackson cited as the type they are targeting. I like that. That could work out well. No official cast or release date has been announced. Nintendo is also developing a sequel to the Super Mario Bros. Animated movie speculated to be titled Super Mario World. So there you go. And yes, this is fan art up here at the top that makes sure Cosmic Book News just wanted to point out to you as well. It's one of them situations where, like I said, this is a giant rumor. It's one of them situations where we don't know exactly how true this is going to be. We obviously have no official announcements, and take Daniel RPK with a giant grain of salt. Like I said, I do think they use him as testing, as somebody that leaks information out there into the public, because everybody knows that the Hollywood Reporter and Variety and all of the rest of those shill access media organizations are going to pick it up. Why? Because they want to see what fan reaction is going to be. They want to see if they're going to be able to get away with something like this. Because Hunter Schafer, to a person who doesn't realize it and doesn't know the truth, would have no idea. They've had plenty of plastic surgery done. They've had all of the rest of that kind of stuff done, worked out to make them look more feminine. But it's not the truth about it. And considering this person's activist past already, is that what you really want from your Princess Zelda on the red carpet? Me thinks, as a Legend of Zelda fan, I don't think this would work out very well. The time of the activist has passed. These people don't sell, they never have, and they never will, and you will continue to fail every single time you try this. So please, by all means, Nintendo, go ahead and do it. Cast it, because great, it'll go great analytics for my channel. The sad part is it'll kill a piece of me as a fan on the inside. And I'd rather do a video that only gets a couple hundred views because I'm praising your Zelda movie versus the one that's going to get 3,000 views because I'm roasting it. At the end of the day, Nintendo, the choice is up to you. Are you going to make the fans happy, or are you going to go with the activists? We know which way makes money, and at the end of the day, you will get exactly what you deserve.